Start like, oh, cool. Just in myself. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning, wherever you're tuning in from. I know sometimes we do get some of our North American trade partners coming in, European. So hello, everyone. Hope you're having a good day. Hope there's sunshine where you are. We're just going to wait a few minutes just so we can let a few more people in. If I can start off with a couple of house rules and just say, you're more than welcome to keep your cameras on so we can see your beautiful faces. But if you can keep yourselves on mute, just so we don't have any disturbance throughout the presentations this afternoon. So we have some lovely presentations for you today. We're going to be telling you all about the nature and adventure aspect of St. Lucia. For those of you who know St. Lucia, you know St. Lucia is very green, it's very lush, and we've got so much to do. We are known as a romance destination, but you can do and explore so much in St. Lucia. We've also got a couple of hotels that will be sharing their properties and their offerings on island with you today. So we've got Adam from Rabo Hotel from Hotel Chocolat. He's going to be telling you all about Rabo Hotel, Rabo Estates, and everything chocolate. And then we've also got Angela from Claire Marketing, who's going to be telling you all about Body Holiday and Stolen Time in St. Lucia. We should also have Barefoot Holidays joining us, and they're one of our leading DMCs in St. Lucia. Hopefully she will pop in at the end, but she was having some technical difficulties. But if not, we will try to do another webinar to fit them in, or I'll make sure she's at least in touch where she can share with you her contact details and her fact sheets and all the information about Barefoot Holidays. So without further ado, I'm going to begin. For those, hopefully everybody can hear me. I always say that, but I did forget this afternoon. But let me know in the chat box that you can hear me okay and where you're logging in from. And we want you to engage with us as much as possible as you're watching the presentation. Please share with us what you like about the resorts. If you've been before, if you send clients there, if it's one of your top sellers. So ask us as many questions. We are going to be giving away some prizes at the end, so please stay till the end for that. You will have a little question and answer, so hopefully you're listening and making a couple of notes. So for those who don't know me, my name is Nicole, and I look after trade marketing at the St. Lucia Tourism Authority, and I'll be setting the scene of the destination for you. I know a lot of you, I recognize quite a few names in the chat. You've been to St. Lucia, you've been in a lot of our webinars.
Was denn, als ob das ein Pupp wäre.
I'm just going to mute everybody just so we can make sure that everyone is muted, and then our presenters, you can unmute yourself when it's your time to present. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about St. Lucia to refresh you on anything new, to update you, to give you some ideas on stuff that you can do and share with your clients. So hopefully you can all see the presentation. Perfect. So welcome to our Nature and Adventure webinar. So a little bit about St. Lucia's resume. And one of the facts that I love to share is that St. Lucia is the only country in the world to be named after a woman. So we say, let her inspire you. Let this beautiful, lush green woman inspire you to come and visit. And hopefully she'll inspire you to inspire your clients, your friends, your family to visit as well, because there is so much to see and do and enjoy in St. Lucia. The island is located in the Eastern Caribbean and is bordered by the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. She is a fairly small island. She measures 27 miles long and 14 miles across, and you can go around the whole island in one day. We like to do, as the locals love to do, around the island, where they start off from their community and they drive all the way around, visiting all the local communities, trying all the local foods and drinks, and some of the local beaches as well. St. Lucia's been an independent nation since 1979 when she gained her independence from the United Kingdom. But she was so popular that for over hundreds of years, she was fought over with the French and the British. She was actually 7 times British, 7 times French. So we do speak both languages in St. Lucia. English is the main language because that was, they ruled the island the longest. However, we do speak broken French, also known as Creole, as part of that French heritage that we once had. St. Lucia has over 30 beaches, 22 dive sites, 25 waterfalls, rivers, and springs, and over 150 adventures that you can enjoy. And we're actually so diverse that we're also a volcanic island. We are home to the Caribbean's leading drive-through volcano. You can go into the volcano, do a tour, have a sulfuric mud bath. And because of that, down in the southwest coast, we do have black sandy beaches. But elsewhere all around the island, you will find those golden white sandy beaches, which I'll show you a couple of images on later so you can see the contrast between the two. St. Lucia is the romance capital of the Caribbean. We have won the world's leading honeymoon destination an amazing 16 times. And it really goes to show that when people think of special romantic occasions, they do think of St. Lucia as one of their top choices. And that's because we boast some of the most amazing views for special romantic occasions, venues, things to do. We like clients and visitors to St. Lucia to say yes, because we say yes to St. Lucia, whether they want to have a bespoke honeymoon a party in between the pitons at Pigeon Island National Park, something private if they want to get married underneath the pitons, on top of the pitons, on a lovely room, private. Well, all our beaches are public beaches, but because of some of the locations, they can be seen as private beaches. So we can do some really bespoke activities on some of those beaches. Anything is possible in St. Lucia. But with that being said, in the last couple of years, we have been known as the Caribbean's leading nature and tour and adventure destinations. That's what we're here to focus on this afternoon. And I'm going to tell you why we have won those awards in the last couple of years. St. Lucia is an year-round tropical destination, measuring temperatures ranging from about high 20s to high 30 degrees Celsius throughout the year. And she has some of the top resorts in the world. And you will be hearing from some of these top resorts here this afternoon. We've got world-class gourmet dining, world-class diving, diverse range of attractions, rich Creole culture, over 19,000 acres of rainforest in St. Lucia. So the island's very green and very lush. And you can see that a lot as you travel around the island, whether you're transferring from the international airport in the south to the domestic airport or to Castries, the capital of St. Lucia. And the last thing that I have to leave in her resume is that she is home to the world's fastest woman. Last year during the Paris Olympics, St. Lucia won its very first Olympic medals, one gold and one silver. So we are now home to the fastest women in the world. We are really here to talk about nature adventure in St. Lucia. And some of the things that really set St. Lucia apart is its iconic natural landmark. So that being that St. Lucia is home to the UNESCO World Heritage Site of our luxurious Piton Mountains. Also the world's drive-through volcano, and also the lush rainforest as well that we have around the island. We have some of those some unique experiences as well that you can go into the volcano and have a sulfuric mud bath. Excuse me, my doorbell is just ringing and they won't stop. I am so sorry. I'm just going to put it I'm so sorry about that, guys. We had an emergency services trying to get into the building and they were just ringing my doorbell. So my apologies for that. Yes, so St. Lucia has some amazing, unique experiences from a one-of-a-kind sulfuric mud baths, which is very therapeutic. They actually did mention that when the French had colonized St. Lucia, the mud bath reminded them of the spas in France. So they'd actually go there and really enjoy and take that experience in. Also, we have a range of adrenaline pumping activities like ziplining through a rainforest, ATV tours, jeep safaris, mountain biking, chasing waterfalls. So there is so much to do and enjoy on land in St. Lucia. And because we are surrounded by water, the Caribbean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean, you can do a range of activities underwater as well, from diving to snorkeling, deep sea fishing, whale and dolphin watching. The list is endless. So this is some of the reasons why we have really been recognized over the last 3 or 4 years of being one of the top leading nature and adventure destinations in the Caribbean, because we boast so many things that your clients can do and enjoy. And you can actually do those things all year round. As I mentioned, we are an all year round destination. So people always ask, what's the best time to travel to St. Lucia? We do technically have 2 seasons. Rainy seasons from June to November. Dry season is from December through to May. But even during the rainy season, you get little to no rainfall at all, or what we call liquid sunshine, because it is what helps the island stay nice and green and lush. Just to give you an idea of the destination, so we do fly into the international airport in the south, Heronora International. We also have a domestic regional airport up in the north of the island, Castries, the capital. George F. L. Charles Airport is where your clients would travel into if they're twin centering around the Caribbean. So if they're going to and from maybe Barbados, Antigua, St. Vincent, Dominica, just to name a few, they could fly out of that airport there. We have two marinas, the Rodney Bay IGY Marina and the Marigot Bay Marina. Those ports are utilized for anybody traveling by yacht around the Caribbean. If they're participating in the Atlantic Valley for cruises, they would utilize those there. And one of my favorite places is Pigeon Island National Park in the north of the island. And that's actually where the British were stationed when they were fighting for St. Lucia. The French were stationed just a couple of miles across the Caribbean Sea in Martinique. And from Pigeon Island, they would, because Pigeon Island was actually joined to St. Lucia in the 70s, just before the island became independent. So it was just a little island just off the coast. And there you can still see the original ruins, their cannons, their houses from those battles while they were fighting for such a beautiful island. This is one of my favorite beaches. This is the Raidwy Beach, or also known as Rodney Bay Beach, up in the north of the island. So you can see the lovely turquoise waters of the Caribbean Sea and that beautiful golden sand as well. This is about 2 miles of unswelt, sandy, lovely beach up in the north of the island. Now, as you head down into the south, into Soufrière, you will get those black sandy beaches because it's in that volcanic area. But visitors to St. Lucia love this because it's very rustic, it's very unique, and it's also very, very different. Just going to show you a short video, which gives you an idea of some of the things that you can do and enjoy in St. Lucia. So I hope that you enjoy. So just this video really shows you how green and how lush the island is, and just some of the things that you can do, like mountain biking, hiking, zip lining. We've got free zip lining sites in St. Lucia. So there's one situated in each of the locations, making it perfect for any of the location that your clients choose to stay, one in the north, one on the southwest coast, and one on the east coast as well. Just a couple of new excursions that we have available in St. Lucia. So you can do bamboo rafting in St. Lucia. This is done on the west coast, where it'll take you along the Roseau River. You get to see some of the plantation and really get to enjoy the nature that we have down there and the flora and fauna of that area as well. You can also do see-through kayaking, St. Lucia as well. And I love this because it's like snorkeling, but above water, because the Caribbean Sea is so crystal clear that even out snorkeling, you're able to really enjoy some of that coral and see some of those beautiful fishes down below as well. I'm not going to talk about accommodation too much because we do have 3 amazing properties to tell you about today. But just to give you an idea of our diverse accommodation offering, we have a range of luxury and boutique properties, all-inclusive properties, family-friendly resorts, romantic and adult-only escapes as well, eco-friendly and sustainable lodges, and also some private villas which make really unique stays, whether it's Airbnbs, awesome guest houses as well. So there is something for everybody's budget and everybody's taste in St. Lucia, and all perfectly dotted around the island. One thing that I do like to mention is that because St. Lucia is quite diverse, she also is quite hilly and quite mountainous, she makes a perfect destination for a twin center within itself, because you can twin a couple of properties like the Body Holiday or Stolen Time with Rabat Hotel down in the southwest coast and really get to enjoy 2 very different experiences. Because up in the north, you can go to Rodney Bay, which has over 40 different types of cuisines, of restaurants, bars. We've got the Gros Soleil Street Party. You can do sea helmet trek up there, zip lining, ATV tours. Then when you head down into the southwest coast, you can go to the mud baths, you can chase waterfalls, you can visit the local town of Soufrière and see how some of the locals live. And you can really get to enjoy the 2 very different aspects in the areas of this one destination. Couple of quick useful facts. So we do have direct flights from the UK, US, Canada, and the Caribbean. As mentioned in the beginning, we fly directly into Heronora International for our international flights. And we have daily flights out of London Gatwick with British Airways. You can also do twin centers with North America. So if you have clients who are in the north of England or up in Europe, they can fly into any of our hubs in North America, and I'll mention some of those shortly. And then from there, they can get some great connections down into St. Lucia. Now, because the island is very hilly and mountainous, the approximate transfer time is about 90 minutes by road and by ferry. That's from transferring between the south and the north of the island. However, you can do a helicopter transfer. It takes about 10 minutes, and that will take you between the international and the domestic airport. And then depending on the resort that your clients are going to, it will just be a short transfer a short road transfer up to the resort. We accept two currencies in the St. Lucia, the Eastern Caribbean dollar and also the US dollar is accepted island-wide. So it's very easy to change currencies. We also accept all major credit cards as well. And we have a vast range of ATMs around the island. Now, in terms of passports and visas, because I had this question come up yesterday, all that we ask is that your passport is valid for the duration of your trip. So if you're spending a week in St. Lucia and your passport only has 3 weeks left, they will not turn you away in St. Lucia. It just has to be valid for the duration of the time that you are in St. Lucia. If you're a British, Irish, American, Canadian passport holder and some European destinations, you don't require a visa, but we do advise that you check if you're not a British, Irish, or US or Canadian first before traveling to St. Lucia. Some of them you might be able to get a visa on arrival, but some you may have to get a visa before traveling down. So please check for your clients or get them to check before traveling. And we have a good range of taxis and rental cars as well. And for our UK guests, we do drive on the same side of the road, so it's very easy to get around. And we've got two main roads. The East Coast, if you're heading from the airport in the south, it'll be the East Coast Road or the West Coast Road. And then some of the resorts are off the beaten track, off into the rainforest, but very easy to find as they are all now on Google Maps. So you can't get lost in St. Lucia. Just a recap on our connectivity. So we do have that weekly service out of London Gatwick with British Airways, and also some great flights from North America as well, from the likes of Miami, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Boston, just to name a few. Just a quick reminder that all visitors to St. Lucia must complete their online immigration card before travel. They will receive a QR code which they need to present to officials on arrival into St. Lucia. And you can do that up to 3 days before departure. So when you're sending out any reminders or information packs to your clients, please include a link to our website, www.stlucia.org, and just remind them that 3 days before they need to complete that online immigration card, because we no longer give out the cards on the airport, on the flight. At the airport, if they get to St. Lucia and they don't have it, they'll just be asked to stand on the side for a moment, and then they can complete that on a phone or tablet. But they will need to have pictures of their documentation, passports, hotel reservations, etc., screenshotted so that they can upload onto the portal. We have an amazing calendar of events. We have things going on in St. Lucia throughout the year, but 3 of our staples. The first one is coming up in October, which is our Creole Heritage Month. This is where we celebrate that Creole heritage that we once had throughout the whole month of October, which ends with Creole Day, that last Sunday in October. And for us, it's really an opportunity to celebrate being Creole and still having that heritage. They have now introduced Creole music back into the school curriculum and stuff. So really getting not only the locals, but the visitors interested and excited about that heritage. So throughout the whole month of October, you will see some of the resorts will have this traditional madras print, as you can see on the screen. And then they serve like traditional Creole food. They've got the dancing, the music, the singing. So it's something that we want visitors to get involved in and also enjoy as well. Our infamous St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival will be taking place from the 13th of April to the 10th of May next year. We have hosted some of the most amazing international artists in the past. This year we had Earth, Wind and Fire, we've had Babyface, we've had both UK and European, and it's not just a jazz festival. We do have throughout that week or 2-week span a range of other music genres. So we have a Caribbean night, an Afrobeats night, an R&B night. There is something for everybody during that time. So if you have clients who are looking to visit St. Lucia next year, that's an amazing time for them to visit the island. Also, our St. Lucia Carnival as well takes place from the 1st to the 22nd of July next year. And again, that's another celebration of our heritage, of our culture. And it takes place in the streets of Castries. So anyone staying at Sandals Halcyon or Stolen Time or Bellevue, you literally be able to just walk out of your resort and just take in that parade and that festivities. And if they want to join in as well, there's some great parties that go on that time. And they can also join a band and just get involved in that lovely St. Lucia aspect. Our carnival and our jazz festival is continuously building, and we just enjoy showcasing that to the world. Just a couple of quick USPs as I round up my presentation. So St. Lucia, as mentioned, is the romance capital of the Caribbean. We are known now for being an adventure and nature destination. And hopefully I've given you an idea as to why throughout this presentation, all the things you can do and enjoy. We've got a range of diverse accommodation, something for everybody in St. Lucia. And also one thing that I love to mention, because it leads nicely into my last presentation, into my last slide, is that we are now becoming known for a wellness destination where people want to visit St. Lucia to visit some of those award-winning spas, those award-winning yoga retreats as well. And you will be hearing a bit about that from Angela. She shares with you Body Holiday. They're one of our leading wellness resorts in St. Lucia. But we do have another one coming as well. So I'll start from the bottom of this list. We do have a wellness resort by the Life co-brand that will be coming to St. Lucia before the end of this year. So definitely keep a lookout on our social media, on our newsletter. As we have more information, we will be sharing that with you. This is going to further put us on the map as being one of the leading wellness destinations of the Caribbean, and hopefully the world. Cabot St. Lucia is a golf resort in St. Lucia that's opened up, giving visitors more options to be able to play golf. We do have another golf a golf site which is owned by Sandals. Sandals guests do get priority to play at on that grounds here. However, Cabot St. Lucia is open to everybody. So if you have clients who are into golfing and they want to do something different while they're in St. Lucia, they can definitely visit Cabot St. Lucia to do that. Couple of new openings. So Sapphire Sands Villas by Bay Gardens will be opening before the end of this year. And this is going to be their first ever 5-star property in the Rodney Bay area. So definitely something to look forward to. And also Secret St. Lucia is now opened, and they're located where, if you're familiar with St. Lucia, you will know the old St. James's Club Morgan Bay. That is the location of that resort. And it's amazing to have another 4-star property in St. Lucia, which brings another 300 rooms to the island. So definitely something that your clients can enjoy. And we did do a webinar with them back in early July. So if you do want to see that, I will share my details with you in my follow-up, and I can always send you the link to watch that webinar if you'd like to see the resort. And last but not least, in theming with the nature, we have a program called the Small Six. We have 6 endemic species in St. Lucia, and what we're doing is really trying to get visitors to St. Lucia to come and find these 6 endemic species. Some of you may be familiar with the Big 5 out in Africa. So for us in St. Lucia, we created the Small Six. We want people to try to locate our small lizards, our reptiles, our birds, and just see how many you can tick off in one trip to St. Lucia. So that a bit more information is available on our website as well, stlucia.org, where anyone who's into nature, they can definitely enjoy that. Quick reminder of our online training program called St. Lucia Expert. We encourage you to log all your bookings that you make to St. Lucia on there, because every year we look at our top 10 sellers and we invite you on an all-expense paid trip to St. Lucia just to say thank you for booking St. Lucia, and to also reward you. You get to bring a +1 and really get to enjoy our St. Lucia hospitality and it's our way as well for thanking you, because we know you could book so many of the places in St. Lucia, but the fact that you're turning some of these requests or inquiries or converting people from other places to St. Lucia is just our way of saying thank you to you. So thank you so much for allowing me to share with you a little bit about St. Lucia. I do want to apologize about the disturbance, but we'd love you to stay connected with us. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X. Please sign up to the training program. If you haven't done the training, refresh yourself, and we're constantly changing it and updating it as well. And my details are on the screen if you want to reach out, but I will be reaching out with, to you with a copy of this webinar today, and also some fact sheets that you can use to help sell St. Lucia better. So I hope that I have really inspired you with St. Lucia. And now we're going to visit some of our destination, our resorts. So I'm going to hand over to Angela. I'm just going to share with you everything about Body Holiday and Stolen Time in St. Lucia.
Nicole, hi everyone. So if sorry, I thought Zoom just crashed on, but no, it's all good. So hi everyone, if I haven't met you before, I definitely recognise some of you, so that's great. My name's Angela, I work for Clear Marketing, so we're a hotel representation company, and we're lucky enough to represent beautiful Body Holiday and Stolen Time in St Lucia, and we also represent Sugar Beach at the bottom of the island as well. So I'm just going to stick with going into detail on Body Holiday and Stolen Time today, but just remember that we are Sugar Beach as well, so if you've got any questions at all, just feel free to reach out to me. We're more than happy to help. So Body Holiday, we are a 5-star all-inclusive wellness resort situated in the very top of the island. So like Nicole said, you can definitely get the helicopter up to the regional airports at St George's, and then it's just about around half an hour drive up to Body Holiday itself, or it's around an hour and a half to drive up to our beautiful resort. We're situated in this little cove area here, so just move that way. So even though, like Nicole said, all of the beaches in St Lucia are public, ours feels very private because we are so secluded. You can only access our beach from the resort itself or from the ocean, which is really lovely because you do feel that privacy. So just to give you a little overview of our map here, so we've got our award-winning wellness centre, our spa up in the top right-hand corner. We've got some villas just underneath. We've got water sports down here in the bottom right, food and beverage along the front of the beach. And then we've got accommodation buildings over here on the left. More villas in the back here. And then we've got acres of land for walking, hiking, trekking. We've got tennis courts. We can do Tai Chi out in in Cuba Valley. So lots of land for lots of different activities and adventures at Body Holiday. So we are a 5-star all-inclusive health and wellbeing resort. And with that, we have a really unique selling point. Every single guest that stays with us receives a complimentary spa treatment every single day of their stay, excluding day of arrival and day of departure. We've got 12 different treatments to choose from body rubs, scrubs, wraps, facials, and we have infrared room that you can use daily and thalassotherapy pool that you can use daily as well. We have a real 360 approach to health and well-being, so you have all of those treatments to look after yourself, your body, and then we also have a skin clinic, which is an additional cost, and you can go to the skin clinic to have bespoke facials and mani-pedis, things like that in our salon as well. And then we have an Ayurvedic temple with fantastic doctors over from Asia, mainly India, to practice different Ayurvedic treatments with you. And then we have a doctor on site as well that can do a sort of assessment of your body, like a little body MOT. They'll check your heart pressure, your heart rate, and if something's low, they'll talk to you to get it to the right level, so you're nice and balanced with us. And that's complimentary, that sort of health MOT as well, which is great. And then on the other side of that, to sort of help with the whole health and wellness, we offer over 40 different activities to do per day as well. That is any activity you can possibly think of, we offer it, and they're all complimentary. There's a few sort of nuances to that, where if you wanted 2 lessons with the golf professional or the tennis pro, you'd have to pay for the second one. If you wanted to do scuba diving twice a day, you'd have to pay for the second one. But more or less, these activities are included. Yoga, Tai Chi, Pilates, all the motorized water sports, the non-motorized water sports. They've got Reformer Pilates as well, which is an addition, which is an amazing new activity you can take part in, along with many, many others. So you can definitely think of us as an adventurous resort. And then we have our adventure program. So this is available at both Body Holiday and Stolen Time. So this is an additional charge, but our team are absolutely amazing, and you can book in with them to take part in any of these activities. So we can organise the 3 Peak Challenge, which is climbing the 3 pitons in one day. I haven't done it, but I've heard it's a real challenge. But we can organise that, and like I said, our team are amazing. They'll make sure you get up and down all 3 of them. waterfall abseiling. We've got a piece on nature walk as well, if if you're not quite up to the climb. We've got rock climbing, mountain biking, and other activities you can take part in as well. So you can do this at both Body Holiday and Stolen Time, just FYI. But yeah, this is the this is what we can offer if you have got those clients that do want to get out and explore and see more of the adventurous side of St. Lucia. In terms of the restaurants, we have 5 amazing restaurants. We've got the Clubhouse, which is the heart of the hotel, I would say, where this is where everybody meets for a pre-dinner drink. We've got to serve afternoon tea here every day. The night entertainment happens at the Clubhouse as well, and it's just great for sort of sundowners sitting on the beach and watching the sunset. And then we have this is some of our restaurants. We have Caribou, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We have Caribou Windows, which is a fine dining 7-course taster menu that you can have a few nights of your stay. You just have to pre-book it. And then we have the Pavilion Grill as well, which is sort of like buffet, grab and go sort of style. And you can see the chef there. He's just about to put a freshly stone baked pizza into the oven. So even though we are health and wellness, we are definitely not boot camp. Salads all day, no alcohol allowed or anything like that. It's all about balance at Body Holiday. So our typical guest would get up, maybe they'll do a spinning class, might do morning yoga. Then they'll take their spa treatment, and then they'll have a lovely lunch with like fresh fish or these stone baked pizzas with lots of lovely cocktails on the beach sort of thing for the afternoon. So it's definitely all about balance. It's not a boot camp. That's something I always like to try and make that clear. And then we also have the Wellness Cafe. So this cafe is open for breakfast and lunch. It's great. It's really sort of light, fresh meals like salads, bento boxes, wraps, paninis, and then fresh smoothies in the morning as well. And then we have Tao, which is fine dining Asian fusion restaurant, and then the piano bar, which actually closes when the last person wants to leave. So the pianist plays every night at 7 p.m. And the record at the moment is 10 a.m. the following day after the night before. So yeah, our guests like to be the record holder. And we have 155 rooms and 4 villas as well, and 29 of our rooms don't carry a single person supplement. So we do have a lot of solo customers that stay with us because we don't penalise them for coming to stay. It's a very social resort, very friendly. It's very easy to come on your own. You don't feel like you're surrounded by couples because there's always a lot of solos in house as well, and the team will always really look after you. We have 9 months of the year where we have different feature months. So these are months where we have experts or sort of specialists in their fields in-house, and then we will be the ones teaching whatever the theme is of that month. So, for example, over the summer, we have WellFit Tribe feature month. So this is great. This is tailored more so for families because we are 12 plus all year round, but obviously in the summer holidays, we get a lot more families. So we have sort of weekly sports tournaments, great for teenagers, and sort of lots of different wellness experiences designed for teens, group activities. And we just had an NBA player come and stay with us, hosting WellFit Tribes. So this is just one example. We have 9 of those, which I can send you more information on. And then moving over to Stolen Time. So Stolen Time is just down the a little bit further down the coast, right next door to the regional airport. So it's very good resort to stay in if you're doing a twin centre around, if you're doing island hopping around the island, or if you do get the helicopter up to Castries, then you're not even 5 minutes away from our hotel, Stolen Time. Stolen Time is, again, it's a 5-star all-inclusive health and wellness resort. Only 100 rooms, so we are definitely more boutique, and we're very flat. We used to be a coconut plantation, so great for if you've got clients that have maybe have walking difficulties, then it's definitely one to think of for those types of clients. So we offer a very similar list of activities. So we offer over 30 different activities, so not as many as Body Holiday, but you know, still over 30, you're definitely not going to get bored here. But at Soul + Thyme, you know, it's more about the relaxing side. It's more about sort of disconnecting with everyday life, you know, what's going on at work and with what's happening in the news, things like that. And just really, you know, putting your phone in the safe, have a bit of a digital detox, and just really sort of reconnect with your partner, or, you know, your friend or yourself when you're away at Soul + Thyme. And maybe you'll pick up you'll do some Pilates or yoga or Tai Chi, meditation classes, things like that, more than the sort of high intensity level. I always like to say that Body Holiday is definitely for your body, and then Soul + Thyme maybe is a little bit more for your mind. And then we do have a lot more. This is just a few more examples of what we offer. So we have like paint and sip classes, like basket weaving classes, things to really sort of forget the time and just live in the present moment whilst you're staying with us. We do have a spa. It's very boutique. It's called the Spa and the Water Garden. We've only got 3 treatment rooms here, whereas Body Holiday has 33 treatment rooms. So unfortunately, we just don't have the sort of facilities to enable every guest to get a complimentary spa treatment every day like we do at Body Holiday. However, the team here are absolutely amazing. They've all been trained at Body Holiday. We have the same list of treatments. The only thing is you just have to pay. You have to pay for them here at Soul + Thyme. Lots of different places you can go and relax. So we've got our, obviously, Malabar Beach, where we're situated, where we've got 2-mile stretch of beach you can go and walk along. We've got a lazy river, lots of nooks and crannies where the beach team, they'll come and make sure your pina coladas are topped up. We've got a lovely pool, swim up bar overlooking the beach. And then in terms of F&B, again, we have a great selection. And we've got the terrace, which is the heart of this hotel. Afternoon teas here, entertainments here, open for breakfast, lunch and dinner every day. Malabar Beach is a real toes in the sand experience. You leave your shoes at the door, you go in barefoot, and, you know, there's no music piped in. You just hear the waves lapping in throughout lunch or dinner. And then we've got Thyme Restaurant, which is French Caribbean fusion, fine dining that you do have to pre-book. And then we have the Champagne Bar, which is open every night apart from Wednesdays, where we have the manager's cocktail hour. And this, again, is open until the last person wants to leave. So the record for this one, I just was there a few weeks ago, and they said it's actually been extended to 3 p.m, sort of the day after the night before. And apparently it was an Irish guy, which was quite funny. But so they are really serious about breaking the record at that Champagne Bar. Incredible room options. We have beachfront cottages, we have veranda suites, and we've got premium rooms as well that are our leading room types. And we have 12 of these that don't carry a single person supplement as well, so really good size. Again, we have different feature months as well. We've got 8 a year. We have just coming up, we've got Swim Fit, where we have professional swimmers come and teach you how to do open water swimming. It's swimming just at night time, and obviously in the pool as well. If you don't know how to swim, you can learn to swim with us, just as an example. And then we have a great team here. We've done so many weddings, honeymoons, anniversaries, proposals. So if you've got any sort of customers that want to do that, then just let us know, because we do it sort of day in, day out. So definitely think of us for that. So I think I am only a little bit over the 10 minutes that I had, so hopefully not too bad. But thanks for listening. Yeah, any questions, I'm sure I'll answer them at the end when Nicole tells me to.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Angela. We can just do, we had a question for you. We can probably do it now.
Okay.
So Daryl, wants to know, is there a charge for the 7-course tasting at Body Holiday?
No, it's included. There is sort of 2 menus. So you've got the all-inclusive option, which is still 7 courses, still absolutely incredible. And then you've got a sort of upgraded 7 courses. So if you wanted to upgrade, then you can do that and pay the additional charge. But there is 7 courses included. You do have to pre-book that one.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think this is for Body Holiday. Julie asked, is there a minimum age requirement?
Body Holiday is 12 plus all year round. And then for Soul + Thyme, we're 16 plus all year round.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Nice
Guys, keep your questions coming in, and we'll do some more at the end. But now we're going to head down to the south to Soufrière with Adam.
Thank you, Nicole. Okay, I'll just share screen. Just bear with. Should be able to see that one now. I'll just make that one a bit bigger. Great. So thanks, Nicole. So yeah, moving down to the south in St. Lucia with Rabo Hotel. My name's Adam. I don't think I'd have met anyone. I'm 3 months into working at Hotel Chocolat, but I've been out to the hotel. So I have a lot to sort of like chat about from our sort of nature and adventure angles of this one. But just to start in that sort of respect of where we are, heading further down to the south, we're 45 minutes from Hiranora International Airport. So not too long of a transfer to get across to from the main airport from an international point of view. And as Nicole mentioned, there's lots of options to get you down from the north as well. And when I went out there, I hired a car, and when the car got dropped off, a local, very mentioned us being in the heart of St. Lucia. And I kind of really liked that because I think when you get further south, you get into sort of rainforest territory, and it feels like sort of the beating heart of St. Lucia. So it's a really nice area of the island to be if you can get down there. Another good part of this to sort of bear in mind is that if you are in the north at Body Holiday or anywhere else, and you're heading back down south, you will kind of probably come past us as you're heading back to the airport. And there are lots of things that you can do that aren't even just staying in the hotel, and actually we have some tour products to talk about to you today. So yeah, pop in if you're on the way back from the airport, I think is another part of that, and encourage your clients to do so. So in terms of kind of more information about the hotel itself, we actually originally were a purchase of our co-owners of Hotel Chocolat itself. And we're a 140-year-old working organic cacao farm, where the cacao is grown in a biodiverse rainforest environment. So the hotel is actually situated adjacent to the working farm. You'll actually see locals go in and out, clocking in and out and working on producing the cocoa and the chocolate. But obviously what happened after that was, yeah, a luxury hotel sprung up next to it. So, and that's what we're here to talk to you about today. We also then created a touring product. So next to the hotel and next to the working farm, we have a touring area called Project Chocolat, where you can do a bean to bar or tree to bar experience, which we'll learn a little bit more about in a second. But that's actually crafting your own chocolate on resort and whilst you're on your holiday in St. Lucia, which is obviously something you don't get to do in the UK and US, where we have our stores, our Hotel Chocolat stores. We are 25 open air luxury lodges. We have 2 different room categories between that. We have our luxes, which are much bigger, and then our lodges, which are a little bit smaller, but got everything you need. And then we have our Rabo restaurant, which has an open-sided pavilion overlooking the Petit Piton. So I think one of the best things about this hotel is the views that you get, and being set in the rainforest, which you hopefully will see a few images on shortly. And being a chocolate company, we would be missing something if we weren't in having our cuisine cacao inspired. So chocolate is in quite a lot of the ingredients, but in savory and in sweet, and the chefs spend a lot of time and detail making sure that works from a sweet and savory point of view, and it's quite fun to try them all. We also have our Boucon Club, which is our 50-foot infinity pool in black quartz marble, and that's overlooking the Petit Piton. And we have a spa where we can do beauty treatments. And guess what? They're also cacao inspired, so they use a lot of the ingredients in it. And it's actually interesting how much the sort of cocoa tree can produce in terms of natural produce that can work towards treatments. We also have yoga up and running now, so we do offer that as a part of the stay in Rabo. But you're also open to do any walking or running around the scenic estate, which we'll again show you a bit more in a second. As well as some adventure based tours. We have a boat trip that we run. We have great dive and snorkel spots that we work with local hotels with, zip lining, and obviously you can hike the pitons as mentioned earlier. Petit Piton right opposite us is the closest, but we can organize a few others. In terms of the rooms themselves or the hotel, just to give you a bit of background of the actual hotel itself, we have 25 private luxury lodges. And as you can see from the image, it's right in the center of the rainforest, but also just decorated so it's very green, very lush, and very tranquil. Great to switch off from reality. Our lodges, which we have 6 of, are the slightly smaller room category, 450 square foot, but king size bed with shutters overlooking the courtyard and an indoor seating area and open air showers. We harvest our rainwater for the showers, and they're all open air, so you're literally looking out into the banana trees, the coconut trees as you're having your shower. So very, very outdoorsy. But the main room category for us is our luxes. So we have 19 of those, elevated position, almost on stilts, like overlooking the resort itself. And I think the main thing to sort of bear in mind from these is, and a great part of this for visiting and for your clients is, they're free walls. So as you can see from that image, that 4th wall at the front is a veranda balcony. It's open air, so we don't have any aircon, much like a few other hotels in the area, like Ladera and a few other things. We have a completely open 4th wall, and I think the most striking aspect for me, when I visited, was that when I came back from dinner and went up to my Lux Lodge, it's just the sounds actually more than the sights. The tree frogs at night are incredible, and just kind of show you that you are literally right in the middle of the rainforest. Just a few more images of the Luxes there. You can see the sort of dark wood decor, a bit of a beachy feel. 750 square foot with a private veranda, super king bed, and pretty much all the Luxes directly overlook, as you see from that top right image, Petit Piton, which actually most of the hotel and resort does. We also have the restaurant and cacao bar. So that's, as I mentioned, serves cacao inspired cuisine. A nice part to this, though, is actually that a lot of the produce that isn't cacao inspired and from the cocoa trees is farm fresh as well. We have a sort of little mini farm that does a lot of the herbs and other aspects. So they're trying to use as much of the ingredients just directly from the estate. And if you're sipping a coffee overlooking the Petit Piton, that will have been grown on the estate as well. The infinity pool, I think, is to kind of go a little bit away from nature and adventure and go into Instagrammable moments. That's your kind of shot overlooking the rainforest. You can take your drinks into there. We have an honesty bar, which is a really cool aspect to that one. So the hotel's quite quiet when it can be in certain areas. And another nice aspect to that is an honesty bar of just signing in, grabbing your drink, charging it back to the room. And quite often you get a really sort of tranquil moment in that infinity pool overlooking the pitons. But we're not too far from a beach, but as Nicole mentioned, it's more of a natural rugged beach. So we don't have the sort of like white sands up the top, but we do have a really, really nice natural beach that is 10 minutes, which we can organize transfers down to from the hotel. And we have a agreement with a hotel on the beach called Paradise. You can buy your drinks, you can buy whatever you want, sunbeds, and that will be charged back to your rate on your room in the Rabo. So easily done. I would highly recommend the pina coladas as well as the non-motorized water sports down there. So if you need your beach fix, well, we do have that natural kind of beach just 10 minutes away. And then, as I mentioned, sort of the spa using the cacao inspired ingredients, lots of different wellness therapies to offer. So they are extra onto the rate. They're not included, but well priced, and yeah, another opportunity to sort of further that sort of relaxation and wellness aspect of your stay at the Rabo. But I think where you get a little bit more is just the surrounding areas of the hotel. So we have lots of nature trails where you can walk, run, picnic, or simply relax and connect with nature. You're free to also go down to the working farm and have a look and see what's going on. We also will answer any of your sort of questions on any of the kind of processes and stuff like that. But because of the working farm and where we are in the rainforest, we thrive in terms of like a biodiversity, lots of different species. As I mentioned, you'll hear the tree frogs at night when you go to bed, but there's also lots of other nature around that you're welcome to have a walk around and discover. We also have our nursery, which is where you'll see the cacao farmers work. So this isn't necessarily the working estate farm. This is where they'll take the beans and actually solar dry them. So that is as you expect from the sun, but it is a little setup that we have to dry the beans, and you'll see them sorting the beans, and you're welcome to walk down and have a look around that as well. But we do also have some sort of organized trails and self-guided aspects, but as well as moving into some more organized tours that you can do that fit into the sort of nature and wellness aspect of the hotel. So there is a trail called the Jurassic Trail that you're welcome to walk around when you're staying at the hotel, um, as well as the Cacao Grove Walk, which is a bit of a longer walk, and Big Nature View, which is a viewing point at the top of the hill, overlooking. It's probably the best view of the Petit Piton. It is quite a steep climb because, as Nicole said, it's a mountainous and rugged island, but it's not undoable. I did it, and it's quite easy if you take your time, and you're rewarded with an incredible view. Obviously, we have our rum and chocolate pairing. So I think 4 out of the 5 rums are St. Lucian, 1 Trinidad and Tobago. So very local, but obviously with the Hotel Chocolat chocolates, which you're welcome to book, as well as the velvetized afternoon tea. So for anyone that is a Hotel Chocolat fan, the velvetizer is a big sort of product of ours. So that sort of really whipped up nice hot chocolate. We have a chocolate-inspired afternoon tea, of course, from a Hotel Chocolat point of view. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, we also have the yoga. So we actually have a yoga permanent structure with a yogi that comes in twice a week. And then we also, if the weather permits, take it out to the lake. It's a old lake, as in filled in lake. It's not water, but it has a boardwalk that overlooks that's where the lake would have been. It's very scenic, and we can do sort of like outdoor yoga early in the morning there, sort of further connecting to nature. We do also offer some tours that sort of align with that as well, though. So obviously you can book to hike the pitons, Grosse Piton climb. We also do a escorted Petit Piton climb, which is, I think if anyone knows their pitons, is the slightly more trickier one of the two in terms of elevation, which I would have thought Grosse would have been, but Petit Piton goes up steeper apparently. And we do the zip lines. We've got the beach, as we said, and we have our own chartered sort of small speedboat that we take a sunset tour out to, which is really nice, just relaxation wise, just catching the sunset over the pitons, having a few drinks, if you want to get out and about from the hotel. I've kind of mentioned yoga, and I included it in what's new, but we've actually been running that for a while now. But we also have our tour building, which is Project Chocolat. And we actually do host events. So if you do book your clients in whilst they're at the time of an event, we will be running those events. So our next one is Zouk and Blanc, which is a white party. A lot of Project Chocolat is partially covered, so actually a lot of it's open air, and it's a bit of a party under the stars. So that's Saturday, 4th of October. Recently, we've been looking at what kind of pop-up events we do in the area as well. And at Project Chocolat, we've recently just finished an 8-week open air cinema. So if your guests have been staying for that period of time, they could have booked in the room, or booked when they arrived, or booked beforehand, walked from the hotel, or been escorted from the hotel to Project Chocolat, our building just around the corner, and catch a movie under the stars, open air, which works quite well. And then one thing that's also kind of newer is our cacao bar. But it's actually, we've got 2. We've got one in Project Chocolat, but we've actually got one right next to the restaurant now. So instead of having to be seated straight away and into your table on the restaurant, which you're welcome to do if you would like, you can actually go to our cacao bar and have any of our cocktails. There are quite your sort of standard cocktails like Negronis and a few other things, but obviously there's the chocolate-inspired cocktails. The Midnight Tiramisu is particularly good as a martini. And then you can have a drink and then sit down and have your meal. And then I think on from sort of nature and trails and being right in the middle of the rainforest, one thing is I would want you to take away from this is our Project Chocolat tour. So we offer 2 tours, the Bean to Bar, which is the shorter tour, which shows you how to make your own chocolate bar. But if you book the Tree to Bar, you will actually go out to the cacao groves. You'll learn about the cocoa growing process. You'll see the cocoa pods. You'll crack a cocoa pod. You'll try a bean. You'll be told about how we graft our trees so they're more hardy, but they're actually producing good fruit. And then you will go into Project Chocolat and learn how to make your own Hotel Chocolat bar, which you will take away with you at the end of the tour. Last year it won tourist in the WTAs, it was the best leading adventure tourist attraction. Yeah, yeah, and we're up for 2025 as well. So definitely, if you're staying at Rabo, don't forget that Project Chocolat is just round the corner and a chance to make your own hotel chocolat bar. I've kind of mentioned that we do the treated bean is part of the stay if you book in the hotel. So actually part of that will be partially funded if you book the hotel, and then you'll just need to pay a top up if you want to do the full tour. A couple of pictures here just from making you also learn about the sort of history of chocolate, which is great. And then at the end of the tour, you will get lunch included if you do the longer tour. And there is street food being served at Project Chocolat locally, and our local charity, Helen's Daughters, around the corner, also help to give us some of the sort of fresh produce that goes into those meals. So yeah, that's Rabo from Hotel Chocolat down in Soufrière. We have our new shiny website. New shiny, I say 9 months old, but a new website to take a look at. So please do find us there. We have our socials, but also I myself work at Hotel Chocolat, but we have Tracy at Essential Detail, who's our UK representation, and her details are here as well. So if you need to get in touch, just get in touch with myself or Tracy. But yeah.
Perfect. Lovely, lovely. Thank you, Adam. That was amazing. Oh, seeing all that chocolate made me a little bit hungry. We have a couple of questions for you. So one of them you did answer. Claudia had asked if there are beach shuttles to the beach, which you answered.
Yep.
She's also asked if there are any restrooms on the beach.
Yes, I believe so. There's in the restaurant of the Hotel Paradise.
Yes.
You can use any of the facilities. You can order any of the food and drink and charge it back to your room.
Perfect. Thank you. Daryl's asked, what is the board basis offered at Rabo Hotel and what tour operators can they book with?
That's a great question. Board basis, we originally did bed and breakfast. I think a lot of our hotel leans itself into getting out and about, but we do now offer all inclusive, and we actually do kind of unofficially coined term of flexible dining. So if you did want to have some of it bed and breakfast, but some of it all inclusive, we can work with reservations to switch that on the days that you would need. So for example, if you wanted to hike the Piton, you're going to be out for most of the day. You're not going to want your all inclusive potentially. You maybe want that for the rest day afterwards. So we can work to combine those for you. And then tour operators, I think most of the big tour operators like British Airways is one of our main partners. Ultimate Jet Vacations is wholesale point of view for US. But most tour operators you can book through. I think Darryl just mentioned there was a question come through about Audley. Sorry, was that?
Yes. So Prin from Audley Travel, she's just confirmed that they can book it through Audley.
Yes, yeah, Audley are on as well. Yep. And if anything's missing from a rate point of view, just give us a shout and we'll fix that for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Reza does have a question. I know he's media. So rather than boring everyone with that, for both hotels, I will share the details with of the partners with you, Reza, because I know your question is more specific to media. And I do have your contact details. So and then I know both our hotels have specific PR contacts that they can put you in touch with if you want any press trips and stuff. But thank you so much to both Angela and Adam. We're gonna all do like a little question now to give you guys a reward for staying on and watching the webinars. Hopefully you took some notes and you were listening. So I'm gonna go first. Oh, Adam, if I can just ask you to stop showing your screen for a second, just so we can get the full screen back up. I think you've still got your screen. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And let me just change the view. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and ask a question. So I'm looking for the correct answer in the quickest time in the chat. So once I've asked the question, if you just go ahead and pop the answer in the chat. And if you have won a prize, please give somebody else a chance to win. So if you do win mine, and then next presenter, and you know the answer, please give somebody else a chance. So my question is, can anybody tell me the name of our drive-through volcano? Oh, I can see the correct answer already. Yes, it is the Sulphur Springs. So thank you, Prin. The correct answer is the Sulphur Springs. I didn't even say what I was giving away. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it's not a holiday to St. Lucia, but I will be giving away a lovely goodie bag. You will get some St. Lucian rum. I probably will put in some Hotel Chocolat chocolates in there as well, because we've got some in office, and just a couple of other goodies that we have in the office. So I'll get that. I'm actually seeing you in a few days. So when you come to pick up your carnival costume, I will have that ready for you. So congratulations. And yes, the answer is the Sulphur Springs. That is the name of our drive-through volcano. So thank you, Prin, for that. So let's go over to Angela. Angela, would you like to tell our attendees what you're giving away, and go ahead and answer your question.
So we are giving away a wellness gift set that I will send directly to you. And our question is, can somebody name me one of the restaurants we have at Stolen Time? One of the restaurants. Can be any of them. Oh yeah, I think we've got the Terrace restaurant. Carol Smith, congratulations.
Congratulations, Carol. I've taken your details down, so I will share your details with Angela, and she will go ahead and get that prize arranged for you. So congratulations again, Carol. Adam, would you like to go ahead and say your question and the prize you're giving away?
Yes, of course. I think everyone's going to be inundated with Hotel Chocolat chocolates, because ours is a box of Hotel Chocolat chocolates. But yeah, the prize will be a Sleekster, which is a large box of Hotel Chocolat chocolates. My question is, we have the Rabo Hotel, we have the restaurant, we have the spa. I mentioned that there was a sort of touring product that we offer. The names of the tours are Bean to Bar and Tree to Bar. But what was the name of the touring center that we run those in? Oh, Annabelle, that was so
Annabelle
quick.
went straight in.
Julie, you would have won it, but Annabelle was so quick. Yes, it is Project Chocolat, which is actually around the corner from Sulphur Springs. Bonus content, but yeah, Annabelle, well done.
Perfect. Congratulations, Annabelle. Hope you enjoy those chocolates. I will share your details with Adam, and he will go ahead and have that sent over to you in the next couple of days. Unfortunately, I do have to apologize for Barefoot Holidays. They were not able to join us today, but we will try to fit them into another webinar, because I do want to get some more excursions and DMCs, just to, bring some different products out to St. Lucia to you guys. Julie's just asking for your contact information, Adam. So if you want to, you can put that into the chat box, but I will share the details of all of the presenters. So with Adam and Angela, you will get their contact details in my follow-up. So they will be in touch as well, sending you any links and fact sheets and stuff that they have on their properties. But thank you, Adam and Angela, for being on the webinar with us this afternoon. Thank you to everybody for being here and taking the time to want to learn more about St. Lucia, and also about Rabo Hotel, Body Holiday, and Stolen Time. And we look forward to seeing you in another webinar. So enjoy the rest of the week and the bank holiday weekend for those in the UK. And look forward to seeing the next webinar in September. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Thanks,
everyone.
Nicole. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thanks, Nicole. Bye.
Bye.